All right, hope everyone had a Merry Christmas, and I've been looking forward to doing this one for a bit, as we're going to try to give you more distance, and we're going to go over some myths of the golf swing as well, and talk about how pressure shifts, specifically 4 pressure shifts is what you have to hit a driver, and 5 with an iron. So it's not as simple as a turn. And I will explain how when you use the ground immediately pushes back into you, okay? So if you guys like this kind of stuff, go to rkswingking.com, where I've got monthly memberships and Zoom lessons one-on-one, where I help people all around the world with this kind of information, all right? So we're gonna get right into it now. We're gonna talk about pressure weight shift. Here it goes, first one. Everybody can play along if you want to. This is all you have to do. You do not have to make a big shift like this, because that's also moving the center of mass. And we're gonna talk about the center of mass as well. So buckle up, and I'm gonna not leave anything basically unturned, any stone unturned. And I'm also gonna answer some of the questions and things that people have been asking me in the comments. So I love it with you guys. So make sure that you leave comments as well underneath, because that also helps me with the channel. And like and subscribe, because that obviously reaches lots of people. All right, so getting down to business now. So what I'm doing is when I push the ground, the ground immediately pushes me back to the right, back to the left, back to the right, back to the left. And do you see there's not really anything, just like walking, there's not anything that goes, okay, it's a golf swing. Let me go left. Now let me go right. Now let me go left. Now let me go right. It doesn't work that way. So the timing of the golf swing is simply this. It goes left, right, left, right. I know, pretty simple, right? So watch what happens in real time when you have this. Okay, love my little slingshot. All right. So when I push the ground here, the ground immediately pushes me away. So that's 1 shift, 2 shift. 1 shift, 2 shift. And that puts pressure and loads into the right leg and the cuboid bone. So when that happens, the golf club is now moved away. You do not have to move it consciously with your hands. You can, but you don't have to. Because if all you did was have this correct grip where the scaphoids are lined up on top, and you shift, your arm will automatically follow that motion, and your golf club will be what we call on plane. Now, because of that next shift, I'm already pushing my foot back down. So we've got 1, 2, 3 while the golf club is still going this way. And then we have 4 to hit up on a driver, because the weight actually goes back right while the pressure of the left iliac goes left. That's right, iliac I said. It is not your hip, okay? So I wish people would understand this. The hips are in here, and they rotate the femur bone, external and internal, okay? This is your iliac out here. People talk about your hips are out here. That is not the case. It's in here, and the femur bone moves, okay? So what happens is when you push that right foot back down, the golf club has already been going back, and now there's my 4th shift to hit driver, where you hit up on it. And if you go from here, your 5th shift is when you hit down with an iron. Okay, so it goes 1, 2, golf club is moving away, 3, 4, and then 5 back to the left when you're going through. Now, maximum distance on anything is only going to be the 4 shifts, okay? And you can do this with the medicine ball, where you're going out here. So when I go out here to throw it, look where my weight is going. And guess what's happening? My weight's going to go back here. So I immediately have left, right. Remember the bucket of water or the medicine ball that I talk about? It goes left, right, left, right. So as soon as this goes away, my weight shifts back left. Now this is not that, shouldn't be revolutionary, but from right here, if I was going to throw it this way, my weight would be going backwards, and that's pushing the ground, and that's straightening the leg, and that's getting maximum extension this way, okay? So that is your 4 shifts. That's always maximum speed. Maximum speed will be 4. You will actually, because you don't want to do that with your iron, you can. How far will it go? You won't know, okay? So control-wise, when you go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then rotate 5, you're actually slowing the club head down, stabilizing the club face to control distance control. Okay, so the first thing that moves is actually a mini shift this way. The right foot, when you push it down, left, right, club goes away, back to the left, you'll see that when I'm pushing it, you'll see Tiger Woods especially and those kinds of great players, you'll see that the knee is kicked in and the foot is barely off the ground, okay, with the driver. It looks like so, okay? The really inconsistent drivers are ones that then push the ground and drive up their foot, and that's the extension, right? And that also comes from manipulations of things that they have to do to figure out a way to get the club back into impact, right? If they were off plane and they had to twist and turn and jump to get the club back online. So when people start from a dead standstill and then even just move the carousel process as well, you'll see that I didn't load up 1, 2, 3, 4. So now I've got to create some kind of ground pressure, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to usually pull on the club and try to create as much speed as possible, and that's going to throw my foot up in the air extension. One of my comments, and this is going to be an answer for a gentleman that left a comment. He said, I have a hard time swinging the golf club with consistent tempo and always find myself pulling the club down. Well, the extended answer is that you're not doing any of these pressure shifts, 0. So what you're basically doing is you're all arm driven and you're pulling the arm down, trying to create some kind of speed because you didn't really move, okay? The more movement that you have, the better that you're going to be in your golf swing, okay? I can't stress that enough, okay? So when you move and you push the ground and you push the ground here and you let it go, the more that you let this go, the more speed that you're gonna have to create. The more still you are, the more arm driven that you are, or the more body when you're trying to just twist the body. So you have to have these shifts. Every great player has them and every other one does not. So to have consistent tempo, you have to use the ground. This is what every top player does. They literally go left, right, then back left, and you can practice that. Now, some people talk about the step drill. That's one of the ways that you could do this, where as soon as you take the golf club away, you start stepping, okay? So you can get that feeling of that. And this is no different than throwing a ball. If I was throwing a ball, my arm goes back and my weight is automatically shifting back left. Now, I had another guy who talked about tennis, and he related to tennis. And hell, he was a professional tennis player, pretty much or close to it, knew a hell of a lot more than I did. But, and I didn't understand, I didn't know that they had all different kinds of grips and things. I pretty much just thought you would put it here and that would be conventional and that was it. So in golf, we don't have all those crazy grips we don't want to. Just put the scaphoids on top. The force before motion will shift and move everything, and that should make all the joints then line up. If you are a thrower and you're trying to move this first, even with pressing the ground and moving, just realize that your hands now are going to be it's going to be real easy to want to take over the natural motion. So you don't have to. But that also being said, that if you feel that you're throwing and you feel the shift going left, right, and you wind up the throw and your weight goes back left and you throw, it is the exact same measure of movement, okay, and sequence of movement. So absolutely you can. Just realize that your hands can be independent and can do a whole bunch of different things. So for me, I like to take them out of it. They are The left hand is backhanding and the right hand is going under, but it's all in a passive nature. That being said, that the faster that you swing your arms in the club, the further the ball is going to go. So just as when you shift over, I want this thing, once that weight is setting, I want you to crack that whip as fast as you can go. So practice that. Get a weighted club, get a medicine ball, get a weighted baseball, and get up here and get that feeling and that you're slamming that thing and that you're throwing it as fast as you can. Because when you're swinging 130 plus miles an hour and your weight is shifting left, right, then back left, and here, you're trying to make sure that thing is snapping. So if I could do that same thing, okay, and go slow, and it looks like this, left, right, left, okay, and you see I didn't even hardly make it snap. So there has to be intention, and I want you to be a little reckless, especially this winter time if you can't get out. I want you to try to go as fast as humanly possible, because when you do, all these counterbalance forces will start to happen without you having to think about it, okay? So I know that was in depth, in detail. Leave comments if you have questions on this. I think this is the correct way to be able to swing a golf club without having to worry about what your hands, wrists, and forearms do. I have given this same kind of motion where people would, hey, swing like you walk, which is, rolling your right, then left, then right ankle, which is those joints moving correctly. I've made it where you can kind of screw yourself into the ground, and made it where you throw, or made it where you backhand. These are all just trying to tap into your human movement, okay? So, man, I hope that helps everybody. And again, Merry Christmas, and thanks for all that you guys do and the love and support. All right, everybody have a great day.